Hello everyone, it's Peter here, Piotr Fisner. How you doing, guys? So, in today's episode, we will be building a signal generator. Signals produced by this generator will be able to give us preview on the oscilloscope I bought. So, first thing first, if you don't know the components, now we can learn them. Before we will do it, I will show you on the pictures. So let us switch to the first. Okay, so this is a function generator XR2206. You can buy it on AliExpress. You can see C is standing for the capacitor. C as well as the capacitor, just different type. This might be electrolytic, this might be different kind. That's R for resistor. C again, yes, you're right, capacitors. U is the IC, integrated circuit, or chip. We call them chips as well, yes. And resistors, amplitude, and coarse, fine and coarse, yes. So you will see some that there is a jack maybe for the barrel connector for the power, yes. So yay. Okay, you see, okay, nothing dangerous here. It's our LCS team, and not in a bad magnification, so it's fine. What I want to say is here is another page from that manual which came with the signal generator, the welding installation, yes. Then there are debugging steps as well here, section number 4. You see it's a 9 to 12 power supply voltage, yes. Supply more than 12, the output waveform is unstable because there is some voltage regulator probably, and that's why. So using the step, okay, so how to use it. And then there is a schematic of the diagram. Okay, so here is a header, 3-pin header. Here is a ground with VCC jack, so that's power comes in, goes to the IC on pin number 4, VCC. And again goes through the resistor here to the sink here. Okay, so just make sure when you are doing these things and you're not 100% sure, double check yourself, because you can say sorry later to yourself. Okay, so how these components are looking, you might be asking. I think I'll use the microscope so that you will have them, you know, like really big, but then it will be really clear. So you don't need the knob covers, like these are just, you know, regular ones. I don't think you get value. Then there is this 3-pin connector which was mentioned, so no need for that. These are the potentiometers which are used for those knobs. They are nice. They are not really soft, really fragile. They are firm, you know, like really nice. Okay, that's a barrel DC jack connector, the one which is 9 to 12 volts. Then we've got a stand for the IC and the IC itself. Okay. And as you see, one of the sides of the IC, which I will show you under the scope, has dent, and that dent is the place of pin number 1. And then on this I will show you as well, it's a place as well. So we will show PCB. You don't need to see the screws, that's waste of your time, I'd say. Okay, so let's put one more screw, 2 more screws away, and then these pins are to solder as well, pin heads. When you play with Arduino, you know them. Well, when you play with Arduino, you know all of them. That's our jumpers. Okay, these are jumpers, and these are connecting those pins, so I no need to show you. So pretty much what I need to show you are two types of capacitors, electrolytic capacitors, so put one aside. That's what I want to show you. One resistor will do. What are the values? Resistors, okay, here. Okay, there are different values of the resistors, so we've got 3 values, so let's put them aside because maybe you will need. In capacitors, what are their names? Ooh, it's shown, but it's really tiny. 222 105. So I'll show you 2 of them. Do not waste the time. I'll switch to the microscope and I'll unpause the video. Okay guys, so we are under the scope function generator kit with XR2206. So these ones of course are mounts, so they are either ground pads usually, or if they have got circle like this, darker just on the edge, you know it's insulated, so it's not even a ground. Okay, so here you've got the connector, the power connector, I'd say, just from like top of my head. These are R's, so these are resistor number 5 and number 3. Sometimes you can see values here as well. Now this is R2, okay, this is R2, but the question is why there are 3 of them. So this should be in between this and this. The way it's done, it's quite bit odd. This is the connector number 1, connector number 2, so it's amplitude, fine, and curse. Yes. Now here you get as well a resistor. Ah, I know why, because these are potentiometers, so it was right. So okay, so this is a potentiometer, that's why it has 3 of them. It goes to here, it goes there, but this is probably the ground in between this and this. So here is a C, so that's capacitor. When we see those white lines, this is a minus side and plus side is no. White, it's a red here. Capacitors, same story. Resistors have no polarity, so it doesn't matter which side, yes? And here is 3-pin connector, you can see which side it is, so just always pay attention to how it's done. The board has a good quality, you can say. I like the quality. Now you see indent here, so the same if we will look at the chip. Yes, the chip is having as well, so it doesn't matter how you will mount this one to be true. If you wanna, you can follow, because you can see that this dent here is as well present, yes, but unfortunately that's not that important. Well, fortunately, not unfortunately, it's important how you will insert this, and this here it's pin number 1, and always when you've got this dent on the left side is pin number 1, and then you need to do the same thing here. Okay, so that's what it is. What else do we have? We have here something, I don't know what goes here, let me check, or it's okay. C stands for capacitors. If you don't see electrolytic mark like here, that it's a whitish and then reddish here, so if you don't see like that, but you see just capacitor and no polarity, you don't have to worry about which side is a plus, because these capacitors, like ceramic capacitors, they don't have polarity, so it's fine. Yes, what you see here you've got, it's important, here you don't, again same story, and that's all the board there is. So let's switch to the camera mode. Oh no, one last thing. Okay, so here are 2 capacitors. You can see this can work up to 105 degrees. Believe me, better not use it up to that temp. And then there is a 16 volts and 100 microfarads. And you see on the pinout there is a white line here. So that's a minus side, and then the other side don't have plus, that's a plus side. Okay, and the same story will be on this one. You see, again 105, from minus 40 to 105, yes. Okay, I'm back, guys, just boys were too loud. So this one is 25 volts and 10 UF, so that's microfarads. Yes, 10 UF and 25 V, so that's volts. Okay, so we've got capacitors of our way, PCB and IC of our way. We've got those ceramic capacitors, which I said I'll show you only two. Okay, so this is the other way round, and that's 105 and 222. So you will see on the schematics which one goes where. Yes, so that's it. So these are the ceramic capacitors and these are the resistors. So again, ceramic capacitors, no resistors, have no polarity and we don't have to care about it. Okay, so here you've got different colors. Okay, and please notice that one side of the resistor is thicker and one is thinner of those bars. Not always is that. Sometimes you get the same thickness of this, and then there is a problem because you don't know how to distinguish the difference, start from this side or from this side. And not always you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes you get 4 or 3 even bars, and there are resistor calculators as well online. You can follow them. But if you know that you've got a DIY kit and you need to use them, just switch to the ohms mode, yes, and check each of them and you will know exactly what they are. I was remembering the names of the colors. Black was 0, brown was 1, or red was third one. Yes, red one was third one. So you know, so then the red is 2 and so on, then orange I think 3. So you know, you can really remember it, it's not a problem, but I don't work with them that often nowadays. And then you've got a wattage as well, yes, like 0.1 watt, these ones probably are, or 0.2, no, 0.1, because we're looking at the size. But yeah, so wattage and resistance are two components of the, you know, like a main features of the resistor. And then you've got capacitors with voltage and microfarads. Okay, so that's what it is. Now what I'm going to do is you've seen this board, yeah, really tiny. You got this, excusez-moi. And what I like to do is start off the smaller components and then take it to the bigger components. But what is written here is how to welding. The components are welded at the front of the board from low to highest to high principles. Oh look, they even said that I should read it first, but you know, namely the first low welding components such as capacitor, resistor, diode, etc. 2. Welding IC sockets, terminal blocks, finely power socket, adjustable potentiometer. 3. The back with a diagonal cutting pliers to cut short pins as far as possible. Well, not always you can get good pliers, and not always you can get don't know, if you don't have good pliers, at least you know you can get those cutters. They are doing as well job. They are not perfect, but they are still better. I want to check because I had different kind as well. I can't see it here. There is one more type, really just smaller version of these ones, and you can say they are better, but depend on the size. I can't show you because I don't see them here, so excusez-moi. I don't need to have my old tools here, so that's why they are not. And what else I can tell you? Not here either. So okay, let me pause. I'll insert components, or we can insert some together, but that will take us some time, so I better insert because it's just inserting. So you know now, R are resistors, C are capacitors, electrolytic capacitors, and their values are represented on this board here, so it shouldn't be a problem. I don't see a value for you to watch it, but maybe, you know, maybe you see value. So what I would do now is I would look at this, yes, at this, so you get it as well, I've shown it, and I would check, yes, check if there are similar or the same size of capacitors, non-polar capacitors, exactly 105, 473, 222, 101, regardless of the polarity, it's even written, yes. So yeah, so I will prepare resistors on the side, all the resistors, because these are tiny. Okay, I'll prepare electrolytic capacitors because there are 3, and I'll prepare those capacitors which we don't care about the polarity, yes, those. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'll leave the rest on the side. I don't need that because these are bigger components, you can solder them later. I've got a flux, I got solder, a wick, I shouldn't need a wick. Okay, so that's what I have, and I've got a bit of a scrap bud from the kitchen, and I like my T12 best, yes, thin and precise. I will be using 300 watts, and if I won't feel comfortable zone, then I will switch to 400 degrees, but 300 is I would say enough, and you can try 350 as well. If you've got regular iron, try to go on first maximum, and it will take some time, and then try to go lower, and then you'll learn on the way what's the best temp for you to use, yes. So I'll look at the magnifying glass. I see C2, C8, C7, C6, C5. So those ones which I would like to start off. So C2 is 104 capacitor, 47, 104. Okay, 104 again, double checking, it's C2. And now here you don't see the names, yes, here you see the names, so you solder where you see those names. And C2 is here. So what I'm going to do is I will just do like that, so it's holding, yes, and I can put another one. So now C8, we're looking for 101. I didn't have 101 in hand, so 105, 101. Okay, so that's again 101, and 101 is C8. Again through, and again here you just do like that, and it holds, yes. So that's it. I'll continue with those 3, and I'll unpause, and we will do another ones, resistors. Okay, so now I've got a meter. I'm gonna meter in the ohms mode. Can't open this thingy for use and for myself. Okay, and now let's see those 3 resistors here. They are 5.1 kilo ohms. So let's check those 3. Didn't check yet. We get 5.01, 5.02. That's okay. That's fine. So that's fine. We know it, and we can insert them as well. But before, we've got double I mean single ones, two single ones. So we are looking for R1 is 1 kilo ohms. Oh, it's wrong, so that's the 1 kilo ohm. Hope. No, I'll have to look in my ones. Yeah, 982. That's the one. So that's R1, and R1 is at the edge is R5 and R3. R6 is here. R1 is here. Okay. So again, no, we don't care about the polarity. Again, we're pushing it through. Okay. And look, when it's like that, we can again make it this way. So this way it won't go anywhere. Now we get R4 on this side. What is R4? R4 is the 330. So that was this one, yeah? Yeah, 326. So let's insert it. See this way how I'm doing. I don't have to I can insert many of them and then just solder them. Solder much more than. And now those three ones, which are R3, R5 and R6. R3 and R5 are on the side, yes. See how it's looking now? Are on the side. So R3 and R5. Okay. R3, R5. Okay. And now the last but not least is this one, which is R6. R6 as well, yes. So it's here above the potentiometer's 3 pins. Okay. And now when we've got all those caps and all of these, what's left is 3 electrolytic capacitors. So let's look at the alignment. Okay, we've got C3 in the center. We can put the C3 and C4 here. So for C3 or C4, C3 and C4 are 10 microfarads, sorry. 10, yeah, these are 10s, so these ones, and then you see you've got the plus, the positive is longer than the negative, yes, than the minus. So again, 10 microfarads, because I'm talking and I'm C3 and C4. So minus is the white, and it's done. Okay, so now the second is C4, and oh, sorry, I did that. C3 and C4. So C4 we've got, C3 now. Where is the minus? It's shorter one, so again, voila. And the last component before soldering will be this capacitor, which is, I assume, C1, and C1 should be 100 microfarads. And yes, we get 100 microfarads, so let's stick this one in. Again, the white part on the PCB is a minus, this one is plus, and now it's like this. Now you can hold it from the back, but the way I've done it, you don't have to hold it. So when you start with soldering, you can get too hot on this side and you can burn your fingers. So that's why I can't recommend you to do it this way, okay? But if you are doing it carefully, you can do it. Let's switch to the microscope, okay? Let's switch to the microscope. Let's see how it's look like. Yes. Okay, so it's not really vivid. Great. Okay. I'll switch on and I'll put on 300 degrees. 300 exactly. Now, because it's really tiny, we don't need to use flags. We could be okay without it, but I'm just OCD on the flags, so excuse me. Now we can solder it. Yes, we get 300 degrees. So what we can do is we can, oh my, you see how tip is blackish here? So let's clean the tip first. We don't want to have any bad stuff on it. Now the tip is clean. Okay. So you see 300 is not the greatest. That's too little, guys. That's too little. Everything's moving. Should I use my third hand? Oh, come on. Oh, now it's a bit too much. That's just a bit too much. I'm looking at the... Okay, that's a bit too much. But that's okay. Let us use flags everywhere. I don't have to have it ideally done. It's fine if it will be a wee problem here and there. 2, 3. Let's do this one more, and that's us. I'll pause and I'll finish the rest. Okay. See, I'm looking at the scope instead of looking at my job. If you do a bit too much, it's okay, you know, it's fine. Okay, I'll keep on going with the rest, and then I'll unpause the video because it's already 28 minutes. Okay, so I can quickly use, these are my new favorite cutters. They were really cheap on AliExpress. Probably you can buy them in the UK as well. So I'll cut off all the remains just above the line of the solder, and we can insert the rest of the components and solder them. Okay guys, so with the potentiometers is that the middle one and one of the sides, when you turn open and close, then you will see the difference in ohm resistance. So I've measured that and I know then these two were the same, whereas this third one was different. Okay, so I've measured and I've checked the table, and that's 100 goes to here. So I can solder these 3. I can solder this one. If you see one pins are on one side, there's no pins on the second one, and then at the top. So this one goes to the PCB and this is going outside. So that's what it is. Okay, so that's how it goes. And then there is this jack barrel. Okay, that's female. Okay, and now I see this base. Remember, there is this dent on one side and there is dent on this side as well. It's better to put on the dent to dent side, but I'm going to pause and I will solder now everything, and I'll be back with you in a jiffy. If you did like the video, thank you for that. Be right back. Okay guys, so the only thing I forgotten was the pinouts here. They have only larger and smaller size, so you know which one goes here because you won't leave too far away on this side. So those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 10 pins, and then for here I will put these, I will insert it into this enclosure, okay, and I think that's us. Oh, okay, it's closed. Oh, and the IC, okay, so the IC, remember again, when you insert in it, there are 2 rules about inserting the IC. 1, don't push it too hard if you see that legs might not match. So like me, better to use the magnifying glass and do it the right way, because if you will bend it and you will break those parts, you will have more trouble later. Yes, so watch out how you're doing it, and remember about this indent on one side to follow that as well, because you will have it opposite and it might not work or damage. Be right back. So guys, that's it. It's taking over half an hour, or half an hour if you don't record the video. That's it, assembled. I've got it here, second one. I won't be putting in use this one because, you know, actually it's a half an hour video. I don't want to drag it for too long. I will have one video about oscilloscope, and then we can test this one, so you will be able to see if you wanna, of course, I mean. But that's it. That's screwed in. I didn't clean it, yes, correct, and that's it. So well thought packaging. I can say I'm happy with what it is. And how much does it cost? It's just beyond belief. It's just a few quid. Before I had to spend so much money if I would like to buy it. That's why I never bought it. It's the first time I have it, just because it's super cheap. How nice it is, you know, how well thought through and everything. We will test it, so there will be more videos. If you want, I'll create DIY playlist, and I will put DIY tools. Yes, DIY tools, that will be the name of the playlist. I will create it just now, and I will add it to the YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you can build one yourself. And we will have more tools which I'm building and I'm showing how to do it. Maybe I'll explain a bit less, you know, but we will have fun of doing so, and we will be able to use them cheaper, because I've got soldering station done the same way. Now signal generator, yes, the function generator, and I can say that I wanted that oscilloscope which came assembled. What can you do? So yeah, I will be trying to get more tools for DIY, and we will see how it will go, but I will try my best to have more of those videos. So thank you for watching, see you in the next one, and if you did like, thank you for that one on top of that. Bye bye.